Alrighty. Alrighty, World GOB students. Welcome to Mr. Judy's class. Today we'll be going over East Asia. We're going over East Asia. Alrighty. So in East Asia is located obviously in Asia, but is located in the eastern part of it. Now, the eastern part of it, Asia is a massive continent. It's one of the biggest continents that we have in the world. East Asia is incorporating a large portion of the world. It incorporates pretty much everything from the northern parts of India all the way to the Siberia, which is in north part close to Russia, and as far east as Japan. Now, East Asia, when it comes to its physical geography, it incorporates the Himalayan mountains. The Himalayan mountains. Now, the Himalayan mountains are the mountains that border right next to China and India. These mountains harbor usually the tallest mountains in the world. Most famously, Mount Everest. Mount Everest is part of the chain of the Himalayan mountains. Now, the physical geography of East Asia incorporates a lot of things. It's got mountain ranges, it's got forest, it's got tropical areas, it's got cold and frigid tundras to the north, and it has plains in the middle of it, and really is a diverse area. Another part of East Asia is China. Now, China, again, is one of the largest countries on the planet, next to India. Both of them have 1 billion people in its area. A large part of the geography of East Asia is the China Plains. Now, China incorporates a large portion of land in East Asia, millions and millions of kilometers or square kilometers. So with the Chinese plains, the China plains grow a lot of rice, a lot of grains, teas, different things like that. The different portions of China have a vast variety of climates. In the north, it's kind of a cool, generally soothing climate, while in the south, it generally almost has a subtropical climate. So, in relation to East Asia is so large that it has a vast range of geographical differences. So, it carries a large array of diversity. So, one of the major things going on in East Asia is part of that Pacific Rim. Now, that Pacific Rim is, again, you learn this in geography A, or the first portion of geography, that our planet, the different continents rest on the large liquefied magma, and our countries are on top of these tectonic plates, the tectonic plates. And a large portion of these tectonic plates are moved around because of that magma moving around in the center of the earth there. Now, in East Asia, there's a lot of earthquakes going on because a lot of tectonic plates meet up in the different portions, especially the Pacific Rim. They also experience a lot of volcanic action. Now, because of this, a lot of volcanic and earthquake action, there's a lot of creation of different water calamities as well, such as tsunamis. A break in the continents kind of create a rift in the water, which allows for giant amounts of pressure to be pushed into the water, which creates giant tsunamis, which swim and go over the oceans and then destroy vast amounts of land. So East Asia experiences a lot of disasters, typhoons, tsunamis, rains, because it's in such a climate diverse area, causes a lot of problems. So East Asia also has a lot of waterways. The different waterways in East Asia are usually the longest and biggest waterways in the world. Now, the two biggest ones are the Nile and the Amazon River, but that's in Africa and South America, respectively. But the next biggest rivers are in East Asia. Now, East Asia is known for its very long coastlines, vast amounts of coastline, all the way from the west part of India to the coast of the East China Sea that China has with Japan. So one of the major rivers, especially, is in the Yangtze River. This Yangtze River is located in China. The Yangtze River is a very long and large river. It pretty much stretches all across the Chinese plain and is very essential for agriculture. This river is essential also for the culture of the Chinese in general. Now, another river associated with China is the Yellow River. The Yellow River is also probably one of the longest rivers in Asia and probably the third longest river in the world. It extends all across China and it is very influential for the world's economy. It is essential for the world's agriculture and essential for Chinese culture as well. It is the mother of all rivers. The Chinese have a very close connection to this river. Now, when it comes to East Asia has many different waterways that are connected to the coastline. The coastline is an essential portion of our world's economy. So that East China Sea, that South China Sea, those different things are connected to each other and they are essential for our trade. You remember, a lot of our commodities come from China. So those commodities are made in China and the plains and in the Himalayas or brought across there and then made in those areas, brought down by the rivers to the coastlines, which they are connected to the East China Sea, the South China Sea, and then they are then distributed across the Pacific to us in the United States. So a lot of problems go along with these areas in the waterways. There's a lot of overfishing, a lot of bad regulations in regards to water treatment, and a lot of damaging things to the environment. Now, different countries try to resolve these problems with different rules and laws and regulations. And they try their best to fix these issues, but these issues are happening across all the different waterways around the world. Now, the vegetation of East Asia is also slightly different, but very similar to the different parts of the world. Again, East Asia has very diverse climates. It has coniferous forest, but it also has very tropical forest in its southern region and coniferous forest in its northern regions. So like those nice thick trees that you kind of see in like little Christmas movies in the snow, those are very common in the north. But you have those like nice tropical trees. Those are very common in the southern part of East Asia. Now, a very famous plant is bamboo. You have these bamboo forests in China and in other parts of East Asia. Famous eater of bamboo are pandas. So pandas consume this bamboo, and then that's how they get their vegetation. Relatively, East Asia is a very diverse environment and incorporates a large portion of different peoples all across the world. So there you go.